Hi, welcome. It's nice to meet you. I'm Cordelia. hmm So, um, you're in today to discuss a little bit of nutrition, you said. Okay. A little bit of um, meal planning, meal prepping, which I know is very similar to nutrition, but we can go over that too. Exercises, okay, and just a basic physical examination. Okay? Alright, so first of all, I'm going to just take some information from you, okay? Okay. I like to do things on pen and paper. So, you've been having a good day? Good. Alright. So, just make sure I have your name correct. Okay. Okay. And would you spell that for me? Excellent, thank you. Okay, and your age? Okay. And we can measure you too later, but your height? Alright. And again, we can weigh you later, and we'll go ahead and do that before we get started with the training sessions. But do you have an idea of what your weight is? Okay. No. The scale is only one measure of physical health, and it's actually not the most accurate one. So please, what I tell all my clients is do not be afraid of the number on the scale, okay? Yeah, especially if you want to weight train, which I highly recommend, that number is likely going to go up. And that's not a bad thing, that just means you're gaining muscle. Okay. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about your goals. Yeah, just what you want to accomplish. It can be anything from, the most common ones. A lot of people would like to lose weight or get in shape, improve their cardiovascular health. There are others who are interested in specifically building muscle, or maybe building muscle and losing body fat with the intention of competing. That's very ambitious. It's not something I ever want to deter anyone from, but if that is one of your goals, just want to be upfront to get competition lean is a little unhealthy. It's not sustainable. So if that is your goal, I would want to refer you to a more specialized trainer to help you with that. Yeah, it's definitely not something I want to discourage you from. It just requires a little bit more monitoring, okay? Okay. So let's see here. So your goals. Okay, just make a note to myself. Yeah, we can definitely do that. Okay. And any limitations? Any previous injuries? Okay. Okay, not a problem. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay. And any conditions? Are you asthmatic? Okay. I am asthmatic, so that's one of the reasons why I love weight training. You get a great workout, but it does not tend to cause asthma flare-ups. So, okay. Are you a smoker? Okay. Do you drink? Okay. And how often? Okay. Okay, yeah, no. Alright, so we'll do some more of this later. This is just a brief questionnaire to kind of give me just a basic idea of what you're looking for and where we're starting. Alright? Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about strategy, because I know that's something that you are interested in. So here is my philosophy, and I think it's worked really well for a lot of people. A lot of people come to the gym with the mentality that they're turning over a new leaf, they're starting fresh, they're really committed this time. And that's a great mentality to have, but it doesn't tend to last. And I don't know if you're familiar with recent studies that have been done on willpower, but willpower is finite, so we don't want to make it so difficult for ourselves to comply with our diet and exercise regimen. You can be committed and still give yourself a little bit of flexibility. So what I like to say to new clients is, take your time. Change one thing in the first week. Or if it's a big thing, try to make that change in the first month. So, for example, when I was eating more unhealthily than I do now, I would have soda constantly. So that was the big thing that I kind of siphoned off. And I still allow myself soda now, but I have the diet version, which I actually like a little bit better. And I don't have it all the time. Yeah, just a little bit to quench that craving. And I don't want you to limit yourself completely from the things that you enjoy. A lot of people ascribe to the 80-20 rule, and you can find this same percentage split in many things. So for our purposes, the 80-20 rule is that 80% of the time you eat clean or whole foods or just foods that are on program, okay? And then 20% of the time you can eat whatever you'd like. Treat yourself. Don't restrict yourself. The vast majority of reasons why people fail in their fitness goals is because they don't allow themselves flexibility. And I know a very common thing is to slip up just once. But if you've been trying to adhere to a T, that one slip up can cause an avalanche of thoughts like, well, I've slipped up, I might as well just eat whatever I want for the rest of the day. And then it snowballs into the day after and the day after and the day after. So I really encourage my clients, treat yourself it's all about finding balance, and balance is such a difficult thing. It's so easy to tell yourself, oh, I'm going to have a balanced lifestyle, but I know even now, if I miss a day or two at the gym, I don't want to go the rest of the week because I feel like, well, I need to wait until next week to start fresh. This week is ruined. And we create these false boundaries for ourselves. And that's another thing I like to caution against. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until next month. Don't wait until next year. Start now. Don't even wait until tomorrow. Start now. You can begin making good choices the last minute of the day. So, let yourself have some leeway. Don't let yourself be restricted by these constructs, because you can start anytime you want. And again, don't feel like if you make a mistake, you've ruined everything. We all make mistakes on our fitness journeys. I've made so many. I still make them sometimes, but you have to be forgiving of yourself. It's much, much easier and more rewarding to forgive yourself, and even to get to the point where you don't feel the impulse to forgive because there is nothing to forgive. You're just living your life in balance. Okay? Excellent. So I did want to go over just a few things. I know you said you were interested in seeing a basic supplement split. And now, there are lots of great supplements out there. You can get lots of information on them. The basic split that I do, and I used to have many more, and I'll give you some examples that I don't actually have with me right now, but let me go ahead and start with, I just have two here, but this is the first thing. This is protein powder. I use the organic protein. This is a plant-based powder, but I've used whey powder before. This one, I want to say it's vegan, and it's definitely vegetarian, but the main reason that I use this one is because whey-based or animal-based protein, tends to sit a little unhappily in my stomach, so this has been easier on my stomach, and I'm a huge proponent of gut health. So if you know you have a tendency to bloat or just have any digestive issues, I would recommend something plant-based. But of course, every body is different, so you really want to get something that you will enjoy eating. I like, in particular, this is the sweet vanilla bean protein, and I like the vanilla option because I can put it in a bunch of different things. You can make protein coffee. You could add a scoop or two of this into your coffee. You can make pancakes out of this. You can put this in a fruit smoothie, and it just I think the vanilla gives just a little bit more flexibility with the types of things that you can flavor and supplement with protein powder. And I don't have this every day. I used to, but again, I have a delicate digestive system, so I only use this when I'm coming in under my calories for the day, and specifically under my protein macro count for the day. And we'll discuss macros, give you a general overview, okay? And the protocol here, this is 2 rounded scoops is what they recommend. And 2 scoops is 150 calories. Total fat, you have 3.5 grams, which is not very much. Some sodium, some potassium, very little carbs. You have 15 grams of carbs, 5 grams of dietary fiber, very little sugar, and the protein in 2 rounded scoops is 21 grams, so that gives you a lot of protein. Personally, I only use 1 scoop, and I can show you what this looks like here. And sometimes, smells good. Sometimes I will say, if you purchase this, you will occasionally have to dig for the scooper. Comes with a little scooper. And you just scoop it out, and you can see it's a nice fluffy consistency. It's not grainy at all. I know some of the other vegan options are a little grainy, but the texture in this is really nice. And again, it smells really good. Yeah. Not too strong. So, and you're welcome to try this if you would like. Yeah, I can send you a sample. Okay. And pardon me if I've already said this, but I usually only put 1 scoop. So I tend to like to get my protein from whole food sources. And while I do have seen that the standard traditional bodybuilding diet of chicken and asparagus or fish and asparagus works really well for some people, I've tried that and I found it far too restrictive, so I get my protein from everything from tilapia, salmon, chicken, to beef and ground beef, hamburgers, cheeseburgers. So just kind of start being aware of the protein content in different foods. And of course there are lots of vegan options and vegetarian options. Yeah. Okay, so the next thing that I use, these are branched chain amino acids. They help in performance and muscle recovery. This one in particular is by BPI Sports. This is the passion fruit flavor. And this was my first time trying this one. Oh, take a look. Yeah, it's not my favorite one, but it is very good. Very very nice for a flavored drink. And this is a great way, again, to get your water in. So let me show you. This also comes with a scoop. And I did have to dig around for this one too. But, and it's a really smooth, fine powder again. It comes with this little scoop. And what I do one serving size is 1 scoop. That's a little much for me. So I'll do maybe a little bit more than that. I'll do probably about half a scoop. And I put that in a 28-ounce bottle and I shake it up. And I just sip on that throughout the day and refill as needed. Just continuing to put that little half scoop in there. And you will hear different reports about how many servings of BCAAs you should have per day, or you can have per day. A lot of the research that I've seen has said that you can have more than the recommended on here. It's just it tends to lose a little bit of efficacy because the body can only absorb so much protein at once. So and amino acids are obviously the building blocks of protein, and protein is the building blocks of muscle. So I am a big fan of this for both performance and muscle recovery, and just making my water a little more fun. So, fun fact, usually when people think they're hungry, they're actually thirsty. So this serves dual purpose for me. It helps me, aside from the fact that it's great for performance and recovery, this helps me remember to drink my water because it tastes very yummy, and it keeps me full longer, so I'm not just mindlessly munching when I don't need to, because I'm not actually hungry. Sometimes my body just wants some flavor. So these are the two things that I use. Many people use more things. The one thing that I would like to cycle in every once in a while is creatine. Creatine also improves performance. It also has a tendency to help the muscles retain water, so you get a nice full look to your muscles. And I know a lot of people, especially women, are very concerned by that because they think that it's going to make them fat, and it's absolutely not. Your muscles just look a little bit more full, your body just a little bit more sculpted. So creatine is also something that I like and that I would recommend. But all of this, again, supplements are called supplements because they are supplemental. They're not necessities. And be aware that the fitness industry does take advantage of people trying to get the most out of their workouts. So supplements are great, but you can also do a lot without them. So I don't want you to feel like you have to rush out and buy these things. Okay? Okay. So let me go ahead and just show you, as I know you had asked about maybe some home equipment. So here is just a 10-pound barbell. I have its twin over on the floor, and these are great. This is, and you can kind of scale this to your needs. I'm a little person, and I go heavier than this at the gym, and I go lighter than this at the gym. But this is a nice weight to keep in the home because I can combine it with its twin and do 20-pound squats and Romanian deadlifts. I can do upper body exercises with these. They're really, really diverse. You can do a lot with them. I would also recommend mini bands. These are really, really useful in a bunch of different exercises. My favorite things to use these with are leg exercises, especially if I don't have weights, because the weight is important, but only as in terms of putting tension on the muscle. So if you don't have weights, you can still put tension on the muscle with these. This one is from Fit Simplify, and they give you a bag, and they also give you a little instruction manual, so this can give you some ideas if you're feeling stumped. And you can see the model on here is using the bands for squats. There are lots of other things, so they show you the bands, the color and the strength, and the estimated poundage. So the black one here that I like to use for a lot of things is the extra heavy band, and it's between 25 and 30 pounds of resistance. So if we open this a little bit more here, you can see we've got arm exercises, so tricep extensions, horizontal arm extensions, vertical arm extensions, rear arm extensions, and they give you recommended resistance levels and recommended reps. And then on the back, bicep curls, we have lower body exercises and some other leg and lower body exercises. So this is a great resource, and it's just fun to change up your routine every once in a while. So I'll show you. We have the black one. This is the extra heavy one, and they are labeled too if you flip them around. The red one you can see is the heavy band, and then the yellow is the medium band. I know it's kind of hard to see. The medium band. The blue one. The blue band is a lightweight band, and I would use this for something like upper body. Yeah, I like to go a little bit lighter there so I can really focus on engaging the muscle. And then this pretty green one, this is the extra light band. So 5 bands, really, really useful. I just keep these in my gym bag. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to touch on was macros. So macros are macronutrients. It's just your basic 3 big nutrient groups: your proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. The majority of Americans and other Western cultures will eat lots and lots of carbohydrates, moderate amount of fat, and are rather lacking in protein. And a lot of what I recommend is that we flip that. So I would recommend starting out seeing how it goes. Again, not rushing into it, but working your way up to eating more protein, a moderate amount of fats, and a moderate amount of carbs. So macros. You'll hear people say, oh, I need to hit my macros, or does that fit my macros? So you've got protein, which are the building blocks of muscle, protein, fats, and carbohydrates, which we will note as carbs. Protein and carbohydrates are 1 gram is equal to 4 calories. 1 gram equals 4 calories. 1 gram equals 4 calories. Now, with fats are a little bit different, and this is what I think gives fats a bad rap. 1 gram equals 9 calories. But that being said, don't be afraid of fats. A lot of people will recommend going on a low-fat diet. I do not recommend that. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's body is going to react differently to different diet protocols. But my philosophy, and what has worked best for me, is not cutting out carbs, not going low fat. I like to stick with a balanced. I get at least 70 to 80 grams of protein. Sometimes I try to go more. And remember, I'm a small person. And I like to get a moderate to high amount of carbohydrates and moderate fat. And some days I just want fats. So I'll eat avocado, I'll eat salmon, I'll eat almonds, and the last 2 things are also pretty rich in protein. So protein and fats to me are where it's at. Carbs are also great for you too. You will have people say that carbohydrates are not a necessary macronutrient. Some people do very, very well on a ketogenic diet, which you may have heard is one where you limit your carbs very, very drastically so your body goes into ketosis. That diet is not for me. If I don't have carbohydrates, I get a headache, I get very weak and shaky. So I would say if you are interested in those protocols, experiment, but if you start to feel poorly, go back to eating a more balanced diet. Now, let me see, we've got our protein, fats, and carbs. The optimal bodybuilding split, so if you want to build muscle, a lot of people say you want to do 40% of your calories, have that come from protein, and then 30% from fats and 30% from carbohydrates. And you can divide that up with your calorie goal, and that'll give you a rough idea of how many calories this is going to be. So 40% of 2,000 calories. 1 gram of protein is 4 calories. So take 2,000 and just divide it up. Okay? Just find out what 40% of that is. That'll give you the calories, and then you can figure out grams. And like I said, we'll go over all of this in more detail, but so just to recap, I want you to keep in mind as you're embarking on this journey that balance is key. Balance. Don't worry about adhering so strictly to your diet that you miss out on things. You can afford to treat yourself sometimes. It's actually a necessity. Remember, willpower is finite. You only have so much of it. You want to conserve as much of that as you can, so make easier choices for yourself. I like to meal prep, So I have my lunches ahead of time, I have my dinners mostly planned, and then in the margins I can treat myself to a chai latte or dessert one night or a burger on the weekend. So make it easier for yourself to make good choices most of the time, and then treat yourself 20% of the time. Remember that 80-20 rule. And again, ease into your diet and exercise regimen. Don't throw yourself into it immediately. Don't restrict yourself food-wise immediately. Play around if you want to with different diet protocols. I know a lot of people like paleo, a lot of people like keto, a lot of people like if it fits your macros. Just do your research, see what works for you. A lot of times people don't realize what works for them until many years into the process. I'm still tweaking my own nutrition, and don't be afraid to do that, okay? And again, the two supplements that I use are the branched chain amino acids and occasionally protein powder. Okay? So that was our just kind of first get to know you session. I hope you enjoyed it and got some useful information out of this. Okay, so I will see you next time. Okay? Alright. Oh, it's very nice to meet you again. Alright. Bye.